guys, this is the Storm, and thank you YouTubers for your opportunity to submit your questions, comments, and suggestions. However, due to overwhelming amount of responses I have received, I will not be able to answer them all, so instead I will compile them by the most popular as stated in the forum video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to answer them ranking by the most popular, if you will. But let's just get to it. So without further ado, let's get it started. So a question from Mean Joe Green 34. It says, "What's up, man? Just want to know how you prepare and go after a challenge. As a competitive eater myself, I would like to know what the advantages and disadvantages are of other competitive eaters such as yourself. Thank you for a Q&A video. Good luck with eating and have a good day." And so that's a pretty good question because I might consider myself to be a competitive eater, but in terms of speed, I don't think I can be classified or officially classified as such. But as far as what my advantages are, as you might see, I have a propensity to eat huge volumes of food, and not to mention studs are extremely dangerous. And I have, like for example, I'm the only person that has done 100 Reese's peanut butter cups, 5 pounds of Hershey's chocolate bar. So I have done some extremely dangerous studs that I have yet to see anybody else posted a video attempting to do such, and I do not recommend anybody, for that matter, to give it a shot because it is known to seriously injure or hurt people. So as far as advantages are concerned, I'm pretty much a risk taker when it comes to attempting such stunts. But I usually do my research beforehand before going for it, just because I do not want to end up being really, really sick. And disadvantages, as you might know, I pretty much tend to eat slower than the average competitive eater out there, but I'm still working on the speed part of it, but it's still a little iffy at best. But so that's pretty much my disadvantage from there. So another question from Famous X: do you live alone or with family? Do you have a job? Do you graduate from college? Yes, I do live alone, and as far as if I have a job, yes, I have a job. I work at the hospital, ironically, as a computer support, where I basically deal with printer, software, hardware issues, you could say. So it's basically an IT support technician type of job. Did you graduate from college? Yes, I did. I graduated with a 4-year degree in computer networking. That is back in 2012, so it's been over a few years or so since then. So that's pretty much how I got this job, and there's that. So another question from GTAL15. It says, do you count calories on a normal day? And is there a chance that you upload a video about your all-day diet? And that's a pretty good question. I do not pay much attention in terms of calorie counts and all that fun stuff. It basically comes down to how I feel the next day after my stunts, because some epic big ones, like for example when I did a 20,000 calorie meal or something big like that, if I were to eat, like let's say the next day or so, I just get so sick of it. It's almost like you just did another stunt. That's how I feel. So it all comes down to how I feel. But usually the next day or so, that's where I will resume eating, and I just go from there. And and as far as uploading a video of my all day diet, I I do get, if there's a lot of people that want me to post about my typical day of eating, I can certainly do that. Just just give it a, just leave a suggestion, and I could certainly do that in the near future if that's what you want me to do. So, next question from Laura Schmidt. If you had to pick your last meal, what would it be? I have to think long and hard on that question. The response to that is I will stick with cheeseburgers and fries. You can't go wrong with those. Out of every fast food that I have ever tried, the most favorite I would go for is burgers and fries. You can't go wrong with those. Those are the meals that I absolutely cannot live without, you could say. So, next question from Taylor Adams. How tall are you? How old? Best food you ever had in ethnicity? I'm 5'9" ish, and I'm almost 26 this year, so gosh, look at all these years that's flown by since I created my first video, but that's just a whole other topic. And the best food I have ever had, and as I stated my last question, I absolutely love burgers and fries. I kind of don't care which ones in particular, but if they're like homemade or they taste like more like homemade, I will go with homemade burgers and fries, or something restaurant made over a typical fast food joint, if you will. So, another question from, and I forgot to answer by ethnicity. I'm basically Hispanic. I was born Hispanic, but as far as talking and acting like a Hispanic, I'm basically an average, typical American out there. I I could understand and speak basic Spanish, but as far as talking fluent Spanish, I'm not good at those. So you could say I'm Hispanic, but in name only. Ha. So next question from 4L3XTH3 Great Gaming. It says, how do you not get fat from all the food? And that is a very common question that normal people ask competitive eaters. Is basically, we, like everybody, any other bake eaters out there, I do not do this every day, because if you were to do it, that means, you get bigger and we get fatter, there's no way that you could burn, thousands and thousands of calories that we just slam down in every eating stuff that we do every single day, and not only it's not normal, but that means that that's not going to end well, in terms of maintaining our figures and all that stuff. And so hopefully that will answer that. So it will come down to basically, it's a once in a while type of thing, but the rest of the days we just eat normal, we exercise regularly. That's basically what it comes down to. So the next question is, what do you do to burn calories that you consume after big meals? Just like the last question is, I do workouts, but not just any typical workouts. I do some hardcore exercises, some intervals, some sprints, and basically that pushes my body to its limit, to where I can build some muscle and maintain my slender figure, if you will. But that's basically how I burn most of the energy that I consume. But it's but people think that most people have the misconception, or people think that I do hours and hours of running or anything like that. But that's basically not true. That that is that is something I used to do when I first made my set of videos. You know, I do hours and hours and hours of running, lots of exercises, but I have basically not been doing it as much as I used to. But I just took out some more intense hardcore workouts, and it has been working out well for me, and I am going to stick to it. So and just like with the previous question, it all comes down to moderation and just and for me it comes down to how I feel the next day. So I might eat less the following day or two, but that's just all comes down to how I feel. So hopefully that answers that question. And it says, do you ever have to go see a doctor after one of your challenges? You all might be surprised, but I haven't seen a doctor ever since. You will figure with all the sugary stunts, with all the things that is supposed to seriously injure or even kill an average person for that matter, I haven't ended up in a hospital, but I would say that I have been seriously sick at some point when I did some of my stunts, and it is not pretty. I have gotten to a point where do I feel like almost throwing up? Oh yes, but I haven't done that yet, and hopefully I will not do that. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It might at some point, but I will hope that it doesn't. But you know how that goes in the competitive eating world. That's pretty much the scoop there. Next question from Jim Helen. It says, can you do an all-day calorie challenge such as 20,000 in a day? That I have attempted to do that challenge a couple months ago, and there is a video where you can watch me try to do it in less than 24 hours. But as you might see, I absolutely felt horrible. And I can say that is one of the worst stunts that I have ever done, as of date, if you will. But if you want to see it, I can make a link on a corner somewhere in the video where you can view my crazy attempt at doing that. And let me say this: how do you guys do it? How do you elite bodybuilders do it? It's absolutely crazy. So mind-blowing. And questionable section says, are you ever going to go to the eating competition? That is a great question. I get quite a bit of inquiries about that, and to be honest with you, I have applied to few places where I wanted to be a contestant in some of the eating contests, but I haven't heard back, or as far as, oh, you're accepted, this is where you're gonna be, this is what your slot, you're accepted. You know, so like I said, I did apply to a few eating competitions, but I haven't heard back the response as far as, oh, you're being selected as a contestant. But if I were to participate in one, or if they take me on as a contestant, I will gladly post a video where I could take on against some of the other big eaters out there, where I could just absolutely compete. And as always, you know, for now I just make my own videos. I could do some occasional restaurant eating challenges, as you guys might see, and that's the best route I could go. But that doesn't mean that I will continue working. I will still work on putting myself out there as far as applying and being a contestant in one of the eating contests out there. So I will keep trying on that and putting myself out there. in the future. So next question from Derek Kurasuma. Not sure how you really say your last name, but here's your comment rather. It says, not a question, but bro, please change your roller coaster tycoon background music while you eat. Keep it up, bro. And basically, I get a lot of people saying that, change your music sucks, and all that stuff. The reason I haven't really changed much, it basically comes down to the copyright. That's the number one reason. And second is it comes down to the flow of the music that I'm using. And the copyright issue is the most single thing that I kind of don't want to change it, because even if I were to change to something that's supposedly free, but then YouTube ends up flagging it that it's a music from so and so album, and I could get flagged for it, and I absolutely do not want that occurring in my channel. I worked so hard to get to this point, and honestly, I just do not feel like disputing with YouTube as far as say, hey, this is taken from so and so. This is a royalty-free music, and it's a time-consuming process, and I honestly do not want to spend my time dealing with such issues at the moment. So for now, if I upload a video and the YouTube says it's okay as far as monetizing such content, then that's something I will stick with, and that's the end of the story. And the last comment from Evolve432, it says, please get a better camera. As much as I enjoy watching your videos, it's super annoying to watch it because of the slight blur, like it's unfocused and haze, like the lens is slightly dirty. I get a lot of inquiry, a lot of suggestions to upgrade my camera, upgrade my equipment, and all that stuff. And as you might know, upgrading stuff costs a lot of money. It's very expensive. I have looked into some GoPro cameras, but they're kind of too pricey for me to get at the moment. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't get it in the future. I'm looking into it some more as far as what the capabilities are, what's the resolution on those cameras. But as far as upgrading it right away, I kind of don't see that happening in the near future. But that's something I will keep in mind. But if you guys want me to get to that point much faster, you guys gotta share my videos. You gotta share my channel. You gotta give me more exposure to the outside world, to where if I were to get more views and more subscribers, to where I'm earning enough money to basically that tells me that, hey, it is worth getting out there and investing in a better camera, that you guys gotta share my channel. You gotta share my videos. You gotta want it bad enough for me to consider upgrading my equipment. So that's the story, and that is the end of the Q&A video. I'm glad to give you guys an opportunity to answer your most popular asked questions, and as always, please subscribe to more future eating stunts. I upload it at least twice a week if I can, but that's usually what happens. So please subscribe, please keep watching, and as I explained earlier, you gotta share it, like it, and subscribe. And this is the Storm signing out, and I'll talk to you all next time.